technical problems, but we're sorry. But we are happy that we are here and we can start. Ooh. Okay, who am I? My name is Alina Tsigankova. I'm the president of this club, Toastbusters, Moscow Toastbusters Club, if you don't know. So who we are? We are part of a big community, Toastmasters community that have more than 17,000 clubs all over the world. So we are really big, huge, I should say, huge community in the world. So we are happy to be together. We're happy to be here. But all of us, presidents, vice presidents, and our PR president, vice president of education, and other, they all volunteers. And we are here to improve our skills. We are here to help you improve your skills. And this is not a financial organization, so we try to do this world better. Sure? Yeah. So, for today, we have a great day to announce that we tried first time our technical microphone and our new camera and all this stuff. And I want to say thank you all of you, because our club and all of you, you can help us with this. And I believe in the future we will do better and we will not have time to do it. And I want to, first of all, I want to invite to the stage our newcomers. I see few people, just few. Have you ever been? No. Great. Could you please come to me? About yourself. What do you want? What do you expect from me? My name is Oskar. I'm going to be here 15 years. I found out about this club from my friend. She's officer in St. Petersburg. Wow. Yeah. My expectations, they improve my oracle and presentation skills. Great. Good. You can improve it here. And at first time we will hear prepared speeches, and the second part of our meeting, it will be non-prepared speeches. So you can try to present your small speech by 1 or 2 minutes. Try. You will see. It's easy. Yeah. Just relax. Thank you very much. Thank you. We don't have online newcomers, as I see. Yes? No? Why? And who is there? Okay, let's continue. So, I want to invite to the stage our beautiful Toastmaster of the week of this evening, Valeria Холодкова.
Hi everyone, hi guys, hi girls, hi Toastmasters and not yet Toastmasters who will soon become one. The theme of today's meeting is very, very important. Every person comes here in the first place for public speaking, but how can we improve if we don't get feedback on our performances, right? So feedback is the key point at every Toastmasters meeting. It's something that we strive for, something that inspires us, something that motivates or demotivates us. So today we'll talk about feedback and different types of feedback that exist in Toastmasters and non-Toastmasters world. Some people say that feedback or criticism is like rain. It should be gentle enough to nourish a man's growth without destroying the roots. Others say feedback is a breakfast for champions. Others say that there is no failure, only feedback. What I think, feedback may also be a game. And I would like to ask our secretary, Anna, to share the screen because I have prepared a special presentation for you for tonight. Feedback with card suits. So now we will actually put the feedback into 4 different types. I have a deck of cards here, and I will explain you the rules of the game, which feedback is good, which is not that good, which is amazing, and which is so-so. And if we have time, I have planned a short 5 minutes game right before the break. This game we once played at one of the district councils where we analyzed and practiced giving positive, constructive feedback. Now, feedback with card suits. What is this, basically? No. Next page. Let's just first remember. Now we just scroll it down. Let's remember what it is. Those suit is hearts. That would be a very open-hearted, motivational, strong feedback when you say something that was really, really well. Remember that. Next would be diamonds. Easy to remember. Girls love diamonds. That would be also a motivational feedback. Again, telling something that was good. Red, good. Next. We also have 2 more suits, which would be spades and clubs. Black doesn't necessarily mean bad. However, this is area for improvement. When we use spades, we say what could have been done better. How can you improve? When we use clubs, this is something to get better. Next. What else is important? Feedback in Toastmasters can be specific or not specific. I think you know what it means. We all received feedback once, and we may distinguish easily whether it was specific, clear, or it was something like, you are cool, you're amazing, or you did so-so. So, next. Those would be specific, those would be not. That's just the rules of the game. Now, I would like to invite to the stage our role participants, and after I present them, and they present their reports, we'll try to guess which suit refers to them. We would like to start tonight with our timer. And our timer for tonight would be a new member, right? No? Sit yet. That would be Daniel Eskoskin, and I will ask every role player tonight to answer one simple question. I ask to tell me what was the feedback in or Toastmasters or outside of Toastmasters he or she once received that he or she still remembers as something very positive or something really motivating. And Daniel told me that the most powerful feedback, listen carefully, the most powerful feedback Daniel has ever received in his life was made by his teacher of literature. In his school, after Daniel read a poem, the teacher said, just be yourself and you'll do your speech in the very best way. Remember that. Daniel still remembers his words. Welcome, Daniel, as a timer for tonight.
Dear Toastmasters, nice to meet you all. Now I'll be myself, as my teacher said to me a few years ago. And let's start I want to say that time for me is really tricky and mysterious thing. Sometimes it's really fast. It's some big things like moments and things, and it's hard to find what's happening at this time. Sometimes it's really a long, dull thing. Sometimes it's boring, and a day may seem like an eternity. And today I'll be give you an essential feedback about how long you speak. Therefore, I'll show you these three cards. The red one means that you've spoken enough, you've spoken a minimum time amount, and you'll on stage, you're good and you can continue. The yellow one means that you've spoken not far, not too less, not too much, and you're good, and if you want, you can stop. The red one means that you've spoken much. You've spoken maximum amount of time that you have, and I'll wave it and near your head, and until you will stop. Hence, at the end of the meeting, I'll give you the feedback about all your time management, and I think it will greatly help you to improve your speech during your education. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Very constructive, very much to the point. Now, guys, remember what the teacher said. Just be yourself and you'll make your speech in the best way. What kind of feedback is that? Is this motivational or is it developmental? Just be yourself and you make your speech in the best possible way. Is it red or is it black? Red. Is it specific or non-specific? No, it's not specific. Just be yourself. What does it mean, be yourself? I may just jump on the stage, I'm yourself. Will it make my speech the best in the world? Probably not. This is non-specific. So this was the heart's feedback. The next participant on tonight's stage will be the A counter for tonight. And I asked Yuri Maisky to share his experience of receiving feedback. Here's what he said. The most demotivating feedback is the lack of feedback. That's not what we do in Toastmasters. Especially when you're expecting the feedback. Such a recurring situation once forced Yuri to leave the outwardly prosperous company where he used to work. Did you remember that? Good. Yuri, your time.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What are the reasons of somebody make sounds while making speech? Joy, grief, disappointment, or maybe confusion? Some of these sounds quite acceptable and could play emotional role, but some of them absolutely unnecessary, as well as words. So this is, and my favorite, and so this evening I'll take notes, and after all sessions, I'll give you feedback. Who will be champion in sounds and words are absolutely superfluous, or whose speech will be pure? A little advice. If you feel that some unnecessary sound break from your lips, please take a pause or inhale. It will be better. And wink at me. I exclude this from my statistics. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for being so creative. Do you remember the lack of feedback is also feedback? Is it motivational or is it developmental? What Yuri did not receive, actually. Black. Specific or non-specific? Non-specific. Clubs is the worst type of feedback. Never give it to anyone. Not expected, not appreciated. Very good. Now, in the agenda, we're having a third row, a quizmaster, but due to the technical issues we were experiencing in the beginning of the meeting and we lost 15 minutes of our precious time, we're just skipping this row. Right, Alina? Sorry, guys. Next time, you will be the quizmaster again. Now we're coming to the prepared speeches. The most important, the most, I would say, anxious part. I will be inviting 4 speakers on this very stage with their 4 speeches from level 1 and level 2. Before I invite, we will investigate the type of feedback a speaker once received. And then I will invite the speaker. Our first speaker would be Polina Chelnakova with her icebreaker. And when I asked her about the most memorable feedback she once received, she said, I remember when I made a presentation about my favorite book at school. The teacher told me to work on the accents at the end of the sentences. That was a very useful remark. Now, what sort of feedback is that? Developmental, very good. Specific or non-specific? This is a good feedback. Not the best in the world, but really, really good. So I'm happy to invite our first speaker with her icebreaker. This is the first ever speech tonight and in Toastmasters International at Toastbusters Moscow, Polina Chelnakova with her wonderful project, Joy and Meanings in Little Things. Welcome.
What do little things mean in your life? What can make you laugh or smile or think about something really important? It's a trifle, but it is so nice. Not global goals, just small joys that make up our lives every day. I've always been a romantic person and found inspiration in simple things like the state of nature, the sound of rain, the first snow, or bright smiles of people on crowded streets. Usually inspired by something simple and at the same time beautiful, I wrote poems or short stories, drew little sketches. There are a lot of childhood memories, especially from my country house, where I spent every summer. I remember how my friends and I rode our bicycles to the railway station and put coins under the train. It was fun, but at the same time it was scary. We were afraid that the station master would punish us or the train might get off the flight. But actually everything was okay. The massive train just turned coins into funny shaped cakes and later we used them as the symbols of our strong friendship. In each received coin, we drilled a hole and tongue them around the neck using a sting. I still keep mine. Now, every time I see trains, I remember this funny story from my childhood, and also the railways running away to the distance make me thinking about traveling other countries and cities I haven't visited yet. I remember how my friend and I found a kitten next to the wheel. He was small and looked weak. He was adorable and funny. We wanted to take him home. We were walking along a country road for a long time, and the kitten was quietly purring under my armpit or at a friend's. We wanted to take him home, but unfortunately our parents didn't allow us to keep him for ourselves. So we were walking along the village and asked every passerby if he needed a kitten. Unfortunately, we were refused. 1 second, please. So I can continue now. But unfortunately, each time we were refused. Oh no, I already have a cat. Oh, I have an allergy. Take it away from me, please, immediately. I don't like cats. Sorry, we heard. We were desperate. Luckily, one young man agreed to take a kitten for himself. For all of my life, I've been remembered this moment of happiness. This fluffy little kitten now has a home. It was fantastic. A little kitten is a small joy, and of course, it's a lesson for life. We're responsible for those we have tamed. This summer, at the same country house, I was looking at the night sky. Carefree childhood has just ended, and now problems begin in life. I couldn't pass my driving exam. I wasn't hired for the job already. I had problems with studying at my university. Overall, I was totally depressed. But suddenly, unexpected thoughts began to run through my mind. Usually, when people see the night sky, they feel their insignificance in comparison with the universe. But not me. I suddenly realized how lucky I was to born and to live on the earth and everything that surrounds me, this huge starry sky, these trees in the dark, endless fields and clear blue lakes. It is all mine. I can enjoy it as much as I want, and I can take from it as much inspiration and vitality as I need. There is no limit for this. This huge world full of opportunities, inspiration, and of course, beauty is open for me personally. I wanted to write a poem about this. It is still not finished. Those feelings that I was expecting peering into the night sky are difficult to convey in words. But I promise that one time I will definitely read it for you, in English, of course. My childhood memories and the habit of finding beauty and everything at this world help me to overcome problems and always stay positive. If you are depressed, if you have problems in your personal life or at work, just look around and try to recognize every beauty of this world. Try to fall in love with this world. You will see how insignificant your problems are and how much the universe is trying to make you happy right now. Thank you.
That was the first speech, while it didn't seem the first one. Great job. Was it a motivational feedback? Probably yes, a little. The second speaker of tonight's meeting, Olga, gave me her memories. She said, once I was presenting a project results in my company to top managers. And one of the top managers compared Olga's speech to a speech at TED Talk. Her confidence in her speaking abilities increased significantly. What type of feedback would be this? Motivational or developmental? Your speech is like a TED Talk. Motivational, specific or not? Not specific. Hearts. So that time, Olga received hearts. Let's see what she would receive tonight. I'm happy to invite our next speaker, Olga Latanova, to the stage with her project from Level 1, Evaluation and Feedback, Grades and their Impact on Our Lives. Welcome!
Have you ever seen a resume of a person, young person applying for a job from a European country or United States? If yes, probably you might remember that in education section, they state their GPA, which means grade points average, because they are proud of it. I'm a silver medalist from school, and I graduated university with a diploma with honors, but I never disclose these details in my resume and even omit these details in interview, because I believe that these achievements do not support my strength in the eyes of interviewer in Russia. So I was thinking about the grading system of Russia. You might be familiar with it, most of you. You know that it's a 5-score system, but in reality, let's tell ourselves the truth. It's 3-grade system because teachers avoid giving bad marks to students and pupils. And moreover, if you go to a high school, you will also meet a pass-fail system, which can hardly be called assessment at all, because it's like black and white, or likes or dislikes. Do you think that this type of grading system is fair or meaningful for any person? I doubt. Next, what is being assessed in our grading system? It's knowledge of an individual. And what is knowledge in the modern world? Knowledge is a matter of 2 clicks. You type a question in a Google search and you receive the answer in milliseconds. What about critical thinking, storytelling, problem solving, creativity, innovation, communication skills, cooperation? This is needed in the modern world. And this is not taught at schools or high schools at all. So I would say that good teachers sometimes try to do it, but the grading system does not support assessing progress in these areas at all. So what are the implications of the grading system on our adult life? First, grading system is supposed to increase the level of self-consciousness, but with the grading system giving you assessment for the knowledge which is based on how well you can memorize the information, how diligent you're reading the text, that kind of stuff. So, but this is only a small part of your capabilities. And once you get into adult life, you find out that this knowledge does not guarantee that you will succeed in your career or in your personal life. Second, the grading system provides very average understanding with these 3 scores. Basically, people are split into 3 categories, like excellent, good, and satisfactory. And in each of the marks, you will find a huge, wide range of different results. So, when people get into adult life, they don't understand correlation between the effort and the result. Last but not least, the grading does not support the individual development and progress. Each score is absolute, and it doesn't take into account how much, what is your progress from previous times. And in the adult life, the life awards the gradual effort and gradual improvement. So to conclude, I would like to share that I had experience in studying abroad and encountering the international system of scores. And you know, there was an aha moment when I learned my ranking among 400 peers. And you know what? The value was great because I exactly knew why I was put in this rank on this specific place. So I started thinking and comparing different grading systems and to reflect on that. I'm sure that there is no ideal grading system, but I'm convinced that the grading system should be flexible and adjustable to the modern world to help our young generation live life to the fullest.
Thank you very much, Olga, for a very profound speech. In Toastmasters, we also have a scoring system, but usually there are only 2 grades, 4 and 5. So I guess you will get 5 for tonight's speech. Our third speaker is also a new Toastmaster in this club, Samira. And when I asked her about her recallings of feedback, it was already within Toastmasters. She first met Toastmasters at the recent conference that took place this May and joined in June. She was not confident at the time, but before she started her journey about her public speaking skills, but at the very first meeting, at her icebreaker, or first impromptu even speech, she was very positively assessed by members of the club. And this positive feedback had a great impact on her. What kind of feedback would be this? Motivational or development? Motivational, specific or not? Hearts, that would be hearts. If we knew more about the feedback you received, and thanks to her mentor, Anna, that would be much easier to make it specific. I'm happy to invite to this stage our third speaker for tonight with her level 1 project, Samira Dostar, with a very interesting title of her speech, Volunteers, Leaders, or Fools?
Dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, I would like to ask you to raise your hands if you are involved in volunteer activity now or were involved in the past. Great, I can see almost all of you are volunteers. It's very nice. The next question is more complex. Have you ever been judged for being a volunteer? Okay, 2 people. Okay, I was as lucky as you, but before I tell you about this experience, I would like to describe a moment in my life when I decided to embark on volunteering. From the very first year of my university studies, I tried to find my own path in science. That's why I had attended a lot of scientific meetings and clubs until I finally found the Center for Scientific Career. The Center for Scientific Career is a university organization with the main purpose to introduce professional scientific world to young students. The work in this organization is based on tutorship. First to third year undergraduate students work under the supervision of their senior colleagues, tutors, who have already got their research published and presented at international level. And as you can already guess, this organization is completely voluntary. Tutors who teach students do not get paid. They are just very enthusiastic people who are eager to share their knowledge and experience without any monetary compensation. I was privileged to become a part of this community as a student. Later, upon successful completion of the course, I was offered to become a junior tutor. I can't say that I immediately accepted that offer, not because I knew that I had to invest my time and efforts without being paid, but because I realized that it was a very huge responsibility. I had to supervise students, to share my experience, to be a role model, a leader, I would say. Even though I didn't feel enough confidence, I accepted the offer. I was helped, so I wanted others people to be supported and guided as I was. I also wanted to continue being a part of a community of very ambitious and highly motivated people. We all know that when we are surrounded by such people, they challenge us and push us to be better. Unfortunately, not all people realize the benefits of volunteering, and some of them judge for this activity. I was a tutor for 3 years, and I have taught 5 students who successfully continue their research career. But at the same time, I was judged for this work by some people. My former groupmate used to tell the following: you waste your time, you are all exploited, and the leader of this community uses all your achievements and benefits financially from them. As I have already said, all my students were successful. I tried to establish peer-to-peer relationships, but I was not able to avoid a conflict with one of them. This student might have missed the deadline. I don't remember exactly what was the reason of the conflict. I told my English teacher about this situation. It was another English teacher, not the one I mentioned in my icebreaker speech. What did the teacher respond to me? You know, you are perceived like a fool, she said, meaning that my student didn't respect me because I seemed to have been exploited without my permission. Was I a fool? Maybe in the eyes of my teacher. But would you follow a person who you consider as a fool? Personally, I wouldn't. Surprisingly, this student with whom I had a conflict followed all my recommendations, and I saw her growth. I guess the reason for conflict was gap in my communication skills. And it was a really valuable experience because you can draw lessons from those situations. Did I waste my time? I can agree to some extent. Yes, I devoted time to my students and the organization itself. But I was really happy to see them growing and making success. I developed not only students, but also myself. Volunteering helped me to develop a lot of skills: leadership skills, communication skills, teamwork skills, and many others. And you can take these skills directly into your professional life. I graduated 1 year ago, and I can say that I found a job within 3 weeks after graduation. And I know that I was hired partially to my due to my volunteer experience. And I was told about that by my manager. What I want to say in the conclusion, as long as you make a conscious decision to become a volunteer and you know a value of this activity, you don't waste time, you are not exploited, and you are not a fool, but you are a leader who took initiative and who is able to make difference by helping others and helping yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. By applauding you, we applaud to ourselves too as volunteers and leaders in Toastmasters and outside of Toastmasters. Thank you. Our fourth, last but not least, speaker would be a girl who shared her memories about feedback. And I noticed that many of us shared their feedback while already at Toastmasters, which shows us how important feedback at Toastmasters is. Ana Gonzalez said that when she delivered her icebreaker, her evaluator said it was one of the best she has ever heard. Cool. And the response from the audience was great, and that helped Anna to realize that she was not an imposter, like a pretender who wants to make something out of her on the stage, but potentially a very talented speaker, which I agree. And that gave her a boost to deliver more quality speeches and explore her possibilities and abilities as a speaker. And I'm inviting here to this stage, you have already guessed that it's Heart's feedback, positive, motivational, but not yet very specific. And I'm inviting Ana Gonzalez with her speech, Fake It Until...
So guys, how are you? Great. So I'm actually quite interested about this path that I'm taking. I'm very surprised actually, I kind of like it. So when I talk about today, it's about body language and how important it is in communication. So of course, you know, in order to convey a message, you need to express somehow with your body, right? So this is especially important, I believe, for sellers. So for example, once someone was trying to sell me something. And when I asked them, will you recommend me this product? After I waited and let them speak until they got tired and I was just listening. And then I asked, will you recommend me this product? And the way they answered was like, no, yes, of course. But it was not convincing. The voice, the way they moved, they were kind of shy like this. Yes, with the hands like here. So that is why it's important, especially in selling, in order to put your point across, not only to manage the volume of your voice and the pauses that you can make throughout your speech, but also the way you move and the way you direct your body. So we're going to explore this, and the way I want to mention it is through some tips that I prepared for you guys. So the first one is actually position. So this is especially hard for me because I like to move around and I like to stand like this, like I was told in my previous speech that I somehow, yeah, you were there, right? That I stand like this. I didn't notice really, but I just stand like this because I'm trying to relax, you know, I'm feeling comfortable. So that's how I stand when I'm comfortable. So it turns out this is not the way. So I don't understand why though, but this is not the way. So the idea is that you should be in your comfortable position. What is your comfortable position? We want to go into that in a second. So firstly, we need to stand in our feet, feel comfortable, hands down. And the way we move is from here. Like, yes, I want to buy, I don't know, potatoes, and later I will cook something. So the way we move is like this. We can move forward, we can move on the side, but we cannot do this, we cannot do that, we cannot do this, we should not do that, because this expresses closeness. So we are shy, we are being timid if we are doing this. especially if you're holding a paper, you can get nervous. So in order to find our more natural position, I want you to stand up. Please stand up, everybody. Yes, I like exercises. So relax, let's shake a little bit your body, relax, stretch. Now, hands up. Well, respect the distance because otherwise you will not kill each other. Looking here, please. Look. Yes. And close your eyes. Everybody, close your eyes. You too, Anna. Close your eyes and raise your head a little bit to the ceiling. Your head to the ceiling. Yes. Now, you're going to let your hands down naturally. And now open your eyes and see where they are. This is your natural position. This is the natural position you should have when you're speaking. Kind of looks weird though, but it's comfortable when someone is looking at you. So please sit down. Now that we found, don't forget your comfortable position, right? Don't forget, it's very important. So, so that is about that tip. The next one is about the gestures. So when we are speaking, we need to make gestures, like for example, expressions in your face. We should move around, of course, never forget about to move a little bit, but expressions. For example, I'm gonna tell you a phrase and then I'm gonna exemplify from there. For example, the other day, I saw a dog that it was so beautiful. I was so in love with this dog that I decided to adopt it. So if you see what I have done just now, so I'm mentioning like the other day with one hand, right? And then I saw a dog and I really like it. And the way I express my feelings is like, and I really like it. So you can see that I really like it because I'm touching my chest, or it's my heart, but it comes love from there. So, and then I decided to adopt it. So we are talking about the give, which is the way we present ideas, one idea after the other one. Then we're talking about the show, which is showing emotions. It could be with one hand, with two hands, you can touch yourself, you can think if you're thinking, to show what you're feeling, right? If you're angry, you can do like this, or yeah, like that. Or if you are emotional, you can touch yourself, you can do this. If you are stressed, if you want to transmit this emotion, you should show it. And the last one is what I call it chop, which is basically just to emphasize something that you would like to. For example, what I just did now, I made a pause and then I said emphasize. So I raise my hands and you can see that I'm putting emphasis in this moment so you can see it. So for example, when I was giving the example of the dog, I mentioned, and I saw the dog and I adopted. So this movement shows that this is important. And that's why I do it. And that's what I recommend to do it. Of course, it's up to you. You can do it with one hand, you can do it with two. Don't do this, of course. It's very hard for me. But one hand or the other hand if you're right-handed, or both hands. So as I mentioned, we have give, which is like mentioning things, counting numbers. We have showing emotions, and we have chop, which is to make a strong point. And I'm gonna make one now, like chop. So that's the way how you can remember something that what I'm trying to put across. And finally, I would like to mention also that when you are moving your hands, let's try to have our hands up and not down. I thought that was very interesting. I never thought about putting my hands down, but there is actually a survey that says that people who are talking and put the hands up generate an 84% of positive reaction. People are more willing to actually respond to that invitation when you are like, come here, move there, do that. And if I put my hands down, which is very unnatural actually, I suppose some people would do it, 52%. And if you're pointing, that is the worst. Actually, it's 28% because it shows that you are nagging people around, and that's not always a comfortable feeling. So you will get your people around you to close. And finally, you should look at your audience. So try to understand what is the feeling that they are getting from your speech. Are they paying attention or not? How are they feeling? Are they listening or not? Come. Very good. And that is the way how we bring them back and we activate the whole speech and the whole, like the communication system. I actually like to make questions from time to time because I like to catch people's attention and I just like to interact with people. And I think it's funny when people are not paying attention and they get distracted. It's very funny. So, yes, I see you. And finally, the title is Fake It Until. And this is the thing, if it's hard for you to do this, it's all about practice, right? It's all about practicing, practicing, practicing. If you don't feel it, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Just go, sit straight, natural pose, do the gestures, even if you don't feel like this is you, like an imposter, actually, that's what I do. Full attitude, that's my motto. Full attitude when you want to do something. And at some point, you will fake it, not until you make it, but until you will become it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. That was a great speech. Thank you for this physical exercise we had. Before I let you go for the break, let's have a short 5 minutes game. Anna, could you please share the screen with my presentation back again? You can't do that? Or you can. Once again, let's recall the cards and I will explain you the rules very quickly. Each of you will receive a set of 2 cards randomly from the deck. We will distribute them. And this will be the cards your partners will take from you. So as long as you have a partner, 2 people talking, very small talk, the partner will take a card from you, will see the suit, which is heart, and the number, say the rank of the card. We start from 2 to 10, 10 maximum, 2 minimum, and try to give you some feedback on your appearance, on anything that may occur to him or her, maybe on your speech that you have just presented. So this will be a feedback, motivational, rather strong, but not specific. Very good, thank you. I'll give you some examples. Go down. Let's first start with the worst thing. Unhappy Obama. Developmental and non-specific. Clubs. Don't club to death. But tonight, you will have to try to play this game. Something like, your speech wasn't good enough. You're a bad speaker. Depending on the number on the card. Your attitude needs to be improved. Oh, it's just not working with you. Something like this. Just an example, if you get clubs. Next, motivational, non-specific. Show love, but not that much. Something like, great job, fair enough, you're a legend if you get a 10, or something like, that was nice, very good. Next would be spades. Developmental and specific. Something to think over, to digest, but still developmental. To the point. I noticed how you behaved on the stage, and I would like you to go forward for the next project, so I would advise you to do this or that. Something like this. And finally, the best ever feedback, motivational and specific, like diamonds. What I loved about your performance tonight was the way you chose the language. It was vivid, bright, wonderful. Keep going. Something like this. Is this clear? Ready? The final slide. With all short suits, motivational, development, specific or non-specific. I will count 5 minutes. So let's distribute very randomly here. Where are my cards? Here. Distribute 5 minutes talking. Then I clap, and then we have a break. Okay? Now sit up. There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. Yeah, talk to anyone. But they do it first. And feedback people expect from you. Either this or this. Be specific, be motivational. In Toastmasters, Toastmasters is the place where we learn to give great, constructive, positive, specific feedback. The break.
Thank you. Can I ask you one question? Just from my point of view as a psychologist. Is that mental?
or amusing or both session, some table topic impromptu, played by ear speeches. And without further ado, I already took lots of your time with my feedback and evaluation stuff. I'm happy to invite to this stage the master of the table topic session, which is a new member of Toastbusters Moscow, and that would be Martino Abbracciavento. Wow! Was it correct?
Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
All right, what should I do? Okay. Okay, table topics. So basically, table topics, it's about providing an improvised speech, not planned. What we train here is to train in front of people. We usually have improvised speech every day. You know, you can have an improvised speech in the lift, meeting your neighbor. You know, someone is asking your a question like, "How is the weather? How is whatever? Was your day today? How is work?" And here we're training in front of people, and we try to put our thoughts together so that we can make some meaning out of it, and we can provide a good message. Okay, I will go straight to the questions then. Should I ask the question first, or should I ask people to come on stage?
Raise your hand about time limits also. Time limits for each speaker.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes. Yeah, right. So basically, we have 30 seconds to prepare for the, more or less. Yeah, ask the question. The person has 30 seconds to prepare, and the speech, the improvised speech, is about 1 to 2 minutes. Thank you. All right. Any volunteers? Thank you. Hi, what's your name? MG. Yeah. Nice to meet you and meet you. Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
All right. So, what is the most constructive feedback you received, and why? Something that really changed your life.
All right. There was a long time ago when I was in high school, and I was part of a club. You know, in a club, like we have like meetings, like we have like brainstorming meetings. You know, come and discuss ideas and stuff. If you have like a story to share and all that type of stuff. And I have to say, like around that time, I was really, really shy and insecure. You know, especially like stage fright, like when you're in front of a public and people are looking at you, and you're like, wow, you just want to like an ostrich, like just disappear in, you know, in the cross of the earth or something. But that day, I remember like reading a post on Facebook. It's about a story that really touched me. And you know, we're at the meeting, and the guy that was the host, he was like telling us like, if you have anything to share, anything like impactful to share it with the public, you could do so. I was really, really shy that time, and like coming on stage, like that was the last thought on my mind. But I just said like, F it, you know, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. So I came in front of the public, like my voice was quite jittery and all that, but I gave the speech, like I gave it all my best and everything, you know. And after the show, and the next week came, you know, and then the guy was talking about like things that happened last week during the last brainstorm and stuff like that. And he was like, actually, one of you guys actually gave a speech about this, that. And I knew he was talking to me, like, obviously. And he said like that was really impactful and very practical. And he said that even though like this was quite obvious that like I didn't want to be there, but I like pushed myself, you know, out of my comfort zone to do this. And he said like more people should also try to like follow by example and do the same. And I think up till today, like it still touches me when I remember it. And so.
All right. Any volunteers?
Hello.
What's your name?
Christina.
Nice to meet you, Christina. Gina.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. Do you believe in the hamburger feedback approach? I don't know if you ever heard. I don't know if you ever heard like good, no bad. No, sorry,
Yes,
good,
I,
bad, good.
I think I have heard.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you very
What
much.
do you think about it?
Dear Toastmasters, good evening to everybody. I think that the hamburger approach in feedback is one of the most popular, and as for me, it's like the easiest one. Because it's very easy to structure in such a way, something bad, something good, something bad, something good. And as for me, I think that it's a good point to start. When you just start giving feedback and you're not very comfortable how to structure your feedback speech, it's very easy. So you pick up several points and you just give them to your speaker or to anybody. But the more you become Toastmaster, the more you learn, the more you become experienced, I think the more you want to explore other methods of giving feedback, because there are dozens of them. So coming back to the question, yes, I agree with this kind of feedback, and I think it's a very relevant one. But when you grow together with giving feedback, and together with giving feedback, other people also grow. So I would suggest to, if you still haven't done it, to explore other methods, and then when you are in the next meeting, try to use other methods to give feedback. But if you don't comfortable with these, then it's okay. Use and eat your hamburger.
Going a long way around.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Hi. You're my boy.
Oh, thank you
I
very
know
much.
your handshake.
I gave him such good developmental feedback.
I'll put it in practice and then I'll tell you if it's good or not.
Fabulous.
All right. Okay, I'll give you a tough one.
Tough one.
What do you think about the black swan rule?
About what?
I got you. I'll tell you what it's about. Don't treat other the way you want to be treated, but treat them the way they want to be treated. Yeah.
Say that again.
Don't treat others the way you want to be treated, but treat them the way they want to be treated.
Wow. That is possibly the best oxymoron I have ever heard in my life. Okay? Don't treat others the way you want to be treated, but treat them the way they want to be treated. How do you know how they want to be treated? Okay? First of all, for me, this is a very, very, very imbalanced way of doing things, because I don't know how you want to be treated. How do you want to be treated? Gently. I know he likes to be stroked a lot, and he likes to be touched. It's so good to that. You know? And to be honest with you, unless you know somebody very, very, very well, how can you know how they want to be treated? Now, I'm a behavioral psychologist, okay? And I still have terrible problem figuring out even how my daughter wants to be treated. Because when she rings me and asks me for money, I always say, are you kidding me? More money? £400 for a haircut? Princess, seriously? So, I don't think that treating people the way they want to be treated is an easy thing to do. I think if you could accept how you would like to be treated in any situation, you stand more chance of influencing people. You also have a better chance to communicate with people. You could try the mirroring approach. Yeah. So how's it going?
Better and better.
Better and better. Excellent. Fabulous. You know you're so right. So try and mix a blend. Okay? Treat people the way how you would like to be treated, and if you can, try and figure out how they would like to be treated. But other than that, I can't, and it was very, very, very tough. Thank you for that. Very tough. Give him a round of applause. Seriously? Anyone else? Should I speak?
What do you do when you think you receive an unjust feedback?
Oh, sometimes it happens in practice. And I use some kind of Buddhist approach to such problems. I try to think that it's not about me, but about how I do things, how I perform them, and I use it to improve my speeches, my performances, and generally I don't try to treat as personal treatment, but as for work, and generally it's not harmful.
All right, this was the last speech, and okay, what did I? All right, please vote for the best table topic.
In the agenda, there is a QR code on the bottom. Yes. You can
And use the code here. Yeah, one. The QR. Thank you.
While you're voting, let's give another round of applause to our wonderful.
And now comes the feedback part. Finally, there is feedback, pre-planned, ready, served. Kristina Sharikina, welcome to the stage, our general evaluator for tonight.
Thank you, Lara. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody, one more time. And the first thing I want to mention is that I absolutely enjoyed how positive you were, Lara, especially with this weather, with this rain. You really burst this energy into us, and I felt much better. So thank you very much for giving this mood, for sharing this amazing mood with us. So guys, today we'll have two small parts. So the first part will be about personal feedback to all our speakers who presented today with their prepared speeches. And the second part, I would give you feedback. And I was thinking that probably we could use Lara's, I don't know how to call it, like signs or cards, to also to evaluate a bit. So why not? As we have had this game, well, why not to continue with this game? So what I would like to ask you is basically those who would be the most, loud today and who are ready to rescue. Then after the personal evaluator gives his feedback, if our committee doesn't mind, somebody from the audience can say whether the feedback was specific, whether it was motivational. So to which card does this feedback correspond? And here I probably would need your help to remind all the signs. So with that, I would like to invite the very first personal evaluator for the speech presented by Paulina. And I would like also guys to pay attention that in your agenda, you will see that each and every speaker has a purpose, an objective of his or her speech. So it wasn't presented just to present, it was to present, to fulfill, to complete an objective. And the objective of Paulina's speech was, the purpose of the speech was to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. How was she with this? Let's ask her personal evaluator, Conwell.
And you guys prepare to answer my question, whether it will be motivation or etc.
So first of all, I'd like us all to applaud Paulina. Paulina, she picked up her ice pick and you broke the ice, not a drop of ice inside. I really love your speech. I love the title, The Joy and Meanings in Little Things. Level 1, Presentation Mastery. You introduced yourself. You told a very touching story. I remember thinking about trains and lovely little kittens. So very sentimental. You started off very strongly with 3 questions. So I'll go through the structure of your speech, the content and the delivery. Regarding structure, you started up with 3 questions. I heard, maybe there was more, but very, very good, very strong opening. You had a clear start, middle and end, which is very important. There was order in your speech. It flowed, I believe, and you achieved your purpose 110%. I hate saying 110%. I'm an accountant. There's no such thing. But you achieved it 110%. Congratulations. Regarding the content, again, you asked 3 questions. You had humor. You told lovely stories about the kitten, the trains, the dacha, very nice journey of summer. You used pauses very well too. The only thing I'd say is maybe to leave us with a stronger challenge at the end, a question, a quote for a little bit of improvement. Regarding delivery, we couldn't beat your smile. You had the best smile in the room, I think. Your energy was very positive, very open, delightful. Eye contact, again, very strong. Hands you used, arms, body language, maybe a little bit of dancing, a bit of Irish dancing, could be good. You were leaning on one leg, I believe. Anna spoke about body language. You know, again, this is the normal body stance, yes? So I think you were a little bit like this. Again, a little bit of room for improvement, my subjective opinion. Your energy and confidence levels were very high. Your voice, your pitch, your tone, excellent, I think. You had pauses. The pace was excellent. You didn't rush. You took your time. Despite we had a big disruption, somebody's telephone rang. That could kill any speech, I believe, but you did. You recovered excellently. Very good. And yes, so I'm looking forward to your next speech. You did a terrific job. I wish you future success in your Toastmasters career. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. So, Lera, let's ask our audience, which card do you prefer? So, could you remind please?
Sure, absolutely. Let's start with clubs, non-specific developmental, hearts, non-specific motivational, spades, specific developmental, and diamonds, motivational, specific.
Probably we could vote. So you show the card and we could vote. What do you think?
Yeah.
And remind please. So it is
specific and it's
motivational. So specific and motivational. Up for this? Perfect. Then the second card.
Well, probably that might work too. This is specific developmental.
Okay, so in the middle somewhere. Okay, great. Another card.
Those are non-specific, but
so what do you think, guys? No, nobody thinks that it was non-specific. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Lera. Colin, thank you very much for your feedback. I think that it was really incredibly inspirational and it was quite specific. I really enjoyed that you, right from the beginning, you gave like 3 points that I will tell you about this, and that. What probably I would suggest is that it's Paulina's first speech. Probably it might be a bit difficult for her to perceive so much information at the same time. So I still would suggest to concentrate your attention more on 3 main points and to be more specific, not to give like so many things like humor and stories and best smile in the room and body language and your hands and your delivery and your tongue. No, it's great, but probably in public it's better to concentrate on 3 main points to give examples. It's easier to perceive. But then after the meeting, you could approach her and give her even like bigger kind of feedback, yeah. And one more comment, I'm not sure whether I'm right or wrong, so probably this question to the whole audience. Probably, I would suggest for you to speak less rapidly, Probably because for some Russian people it might be a question of understanding. Not for everybody, but still. But overall, thank you very much for being so positive and specific. So
We're
now,
really trying to ask an Irishman to speak slowly. It's never gonna happen.
very good. So we'll try our best in future.
You will be English, right?
Now, guys, now it's time for the second evaluation, and I would like to welcome Alla Ganova to evaluate the speech of Olga. And the purpose of Olga's speech was and is to give a speech on any topic, get feedback, and apply it to the second project. Alla, the stage is yours.
Unfortunately, Olga is not here because her small daughter, she is less than 1 year, requires her presence. That's why she left. What I would like to see. First of all, I would like to say that the subject of her report was very close to me as a former teacher at the secondary school and further at the Institute of Higher Learning. I watched many times great contradiction between the grading of some pupil or a student and his or her possible opportunities not expressed in the grading system prevailing here. So, and it's not by chance that in our press sometimes we see the discussion about the necessity of changes in our grading system. But up to now, the situation is still the same. So I would like to say that the report was very pressing one. Now about the report itself. It was clear, with good vocal variety. Her eye contact was good as well, but some small improvements is possible. Improvements are possible in this eye contact. Physical gestures were used effectively. She was very comfortable with the audience, but not to the excellent degree. Sometimes she used the notes, some additional preparation work is necessary. Audience was interested in her subject, and this is her strongest merit. So I would like to thank her for her report. It was well done, but some small improvements will be helpful for her next speeches.
Let's continue our game. So, guys,
Spades, hearts, clubs, or diamonds? Let's start with spades. Specific developmental.
so just
We're done. We're
raise
done.
your hands if you are voting for this one.
Okay.
Great.
Someone wants to vote for hearts?
Many
Or
hearts.
diamonds?
Hearts. You like hearts, right?
Yes, it was motivational, but it wasn't specific.
It's good to know. Anyway, more people are for the spades, which is specific and developmental.
Great. Thank you. So what I would like to say is that probably something that I would offer to improve Alla is that during the first part of the speech, you were talking quite a lot about the educational system in general, that it resonates with you because you also were a teacher. I would suggest probably not, not to lose time on telling your own story because you only have like 2 minutes to give feedback and directly go to the feedback by itself. And yes, why not to give examples of how to improve and some probably even tools to improve. Thank you for your feedback. And now we are going further, and now is the time to lead the project about volunteers. And the purpose of Samira's project is to give a speech on any topic, get feedback, and apply it to the second speech. I think that we have just heard it, right? So now I would like to welcome her personal evaluator, Daniil Filonov.
Dear Toastmasters, today we witnessed Samira making her second step in becoming a prolific Toastmaster, a prolific speaker. And there are a few things she can already beat anyone. And the first thing she excels at is preparation. I think we can all agree how much time she devoted in making her speech really insightful, meaningful, choosing a lot of colorful words to describe her thoughts and making good examples. She is still to pronounce a single filler word. I didn't hear any sound that is not necessary. And third, in comparison with her icebreaker, she introduced a question to the audience, a small interaction to make us all involved. But let's talk about what Samira do you think you need to be in 1 year, in 6 months, or in 2 years as a speaker? I think you imagine yourself boasting all tools that a TED speaker has, yes? You need to go on stage, right, left, up, down, using your hands, using all your body language, vocal variety, talking things very loud, very low when it's needed, to emphasize certain things, making pauses, yes? And first thing you need to do in this direction is to use your hands, right? But your hands, they were filled with papers. And why you had papers? Because you wanted to hear every word that you wrote. Yes, probably you forgot to, you were afraid to forget something, right? Maybe you wrote too much. And here is the most difficult thing for a speaker to do. First, you write a lot of really great things, and then you need to exclude something that you already just gone. And only after this, you will have actually time to deliver your speech in 5 and 7 minutes and to use all these tools. Don't get me wrong, your content was great, but it was really great for a speech like 10 minutes. Yes. So next time, probably you need help from your mentor. So you write something and you try to talk to your mentor, and mentor will say what's going good and what you can remove from your speech to make it easier for yourself to tell to the audience. Samira, we are all volunteers here, and everything we do just Thank you. Yes, I see. So you motivated us. We are not wasting our time here. We actually do something good. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, guys, so let's vote.
Twist for the clubs, non-specific development. None. Twist for the hearts, motivational, non-specific. Me. Twist for the space, specific development. And finally, diamonds, motivational and very specific.
Great. Thank you very much, Lera. It actually resonates a lot with my own feedback for you, Daniil, because I also agree that, well, it wasn't so motivational, and I still think that Toastmasters is about motivation. Because people come here, they feel quite shy, they might be a bit even afraid, and if we are not motivational enough, then probably the consequences might be not always positive. So my suggestion for you would be, firstly, I will start with a good thing, by the way. I noticed that Daniel used the third person when he was talking about Samira. So he was using like, she did this, she did that. So it was such a thing that his feedback was not only for Samira, but for the whole audience. So for further feedback, guys, take a note that we are not giving feedback only to the speaker, but to the whole audience to help with the further projects. So this was very good thing. Also, you enumerated quite many examples of Samira's speech. Even though I enjoyed the first part of your feedback, I again will repeat that I don't think that the second part was enough motivational. And here you started using like you statement instead of I statement. So it wasn't that I think that you did this because, but instead of this, Daniela said, you are very bad on this. You have used your nose. You have to be less shy. So take a note. Well, of course I'm exaggerating, but take a note of this and try to always, in summing up, try to motivate the speaker. Okay? But in general, as I have already mentioned to you in private conversation, you are very strategic. You are very, how to say, like you have a good structure. Just a little more work needed. And thank you very much for your feedback. And now, the last evaluation of our last but not least speaker, and this evaluation will be in the online format. It will be presented by Evgenia Belova, and your evaluation will be of Anna's project. And the purpose of your project is to focus on how to recognize body language used when speaking in public and how to use gestures to enhance speech content. Evgenia, virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Christina. Good evening, everyone. First of all, can you give me any sign whether you can hear me or not? Okay, great. So today I'm evaluating the speech of Ana Gonzalez, which is effective body language. And let's just start. I would like to tell you what I enjoyed the most in her speech. Firstly, I would like to say that Anna, you are very confident, and I can see that from how you say things and how you own the stage. And it's always a pleasure to listen to you and to look at you. Secondly, I really enjoyed that interactive part that you did with us when you asked all the audience to stand and raise our hands in order to find our natural poses. I think it's a great way to bring back attention or to attract even more attention to what is going on the stage. And it also, by the way, makes us memorize your speech better because it's something, you know, unusual. Not everybody does that. And surely I did notice how much gestures you used. I liked how you showed us different examples of emotions, sincere emotions, you know, when you showed shy people. When you did that chop gesture, I could see that your thoughts and your body are connected, and you, when you speak, you know what's going on with your body, and you're comfortable with that. Slowly moving to the improvement part of the feedback, I would like to stress two things that could be improved. First of all, as far as I'm in online today, so surely I was paying attention to what was going in the Zoom area, and I would suggest not only to you, but to all of the speakers, before your speech, check approximately where you can stand so that online participant would see you, because sometimes they were time when you were, going from one side of the stage to another, and I couldn't see you, and could only hear you. So please pay attention to that, because we here online want to see everything as well. And the second thing is, I really enjoyed the structure of your presentation and the kind of the style that you chose. So you decided to give us an informational report sort of on how to use body language. And you prepared good examples, but for the further speeches, I would like to ask you to choose another topic, maybe something from your daily life or something that is not connected to body language, and to show how you use body language there, without any preparation, so that we can evaluate it. Overall, it was a great speech. And the last thing that I want to tell you is that you don't need to fake it, because you have already become it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy, very much. And now time to evaluate, guys. So what do you think about Evgenia's feedback? Let's choose the card.
Plus, non-specific development. Hearts, motivational, non-specific. Space, developmental specific. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Finally, diamonds, motivational, also, right? Yeah. Motivational and specific. So
motivational and specific.
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much, Vera. And again, what you think, the same kind of thoughts I do have, because I absolutely agree with you that Evgenia was quite specific and quite motivational. And what I really enjoyed was that she was using this kind of verb that help us to structure feedback in our head. So, for example, she said, I would like to stress out 2 things, and then she gave these examples. And also she was always giving suggestions. So we can give feedback without any kind of suggestions. And actually she summed up giving a suggestion. This was very good. Probably I would suggest, Evgenia, I would suggest you to give more concrete examples of what was good, because in the first part of your feedback, you actually were quite general, whereas in the second part of your feedback, you were very concrete. But overall, very well done, and thank you very much for your feedback. And now it's time to receive feedback from other members of our team. And with that, I would like to welcome our accounter on the stage, Yuri Maisky. Let's give him applause.
Thank you. I don't know. Will it be specific or non-specific? I don't know. So, Polina, Olga, and Valeria, you had very clear speech. You are champions. Thank you. Samira, Anna, and Evgenia had the most unnecessary sounds. Most of yes. It's because you have some sound attack before first before first word in phrase. You have to make some break maybe. I show you. So great. You're right. Thank you. The word, the champion of all our evening, but. Almost everyone said but. That's all. Thank you.
Yuri, I think that once you're on the stage, everybody's already smiling because of the tone of your voice and the kind of approach you have towards the audience. And what I noticed right from the beginning was usage of jokes. When you said that like blink, then I will exclude all the sounds. It's really like, you know, also like together with Lara, it gives some kind of, you know, good way of thinking about yourself like a speaker. So thank you very much for that. And well, I think that you were quite specific, but in the, well, okay, no, but in this phrase, I think I can use this. But do we have somebody who was exceptionally clear in his or her speech? Or the first portion of people that you mentioned were all the same clear? Okay, great. Thank you very much for your report. And now it's time to welcome our timer, probably one of the most difficult roles on this meeting. So we are welcoming you, Daniel.
Okay, as a timer, I'm also a researcher, and I found that it was really, before a break, I found an interesting fact that it was kind of impression for me that there are only 2 people that said more than they should be. I thought that there would be more such events. And then with evaluations and table topics, I realized that I wasn't quite right. But at all, there were 4 people that spoken more than that was necessary. It was Samira. Maybe it was because she spoken very slowly, but and also Daniil and Evgenia. Anna spoken for 1 minute and 20 seconds more, but it was very natural, and I didn't want it to show such red things. Okay, and however, I think that and also there was only one person that spoken less than it was necessary, and it was me, because I was a timer and I was very anxious about being not in time, and I was very anxious. Hence, with postpone with some delay in our beginning, we were more nervous and were concrete in our speech, and most of us spoken enough and spoken necessary part of the speech. Thank you.
Well, what I noticed right in the beginning, Daniel, that you were also quite open to public, and I enjoyed usage of certain phrases. So right in the beginning, you said some kind of, you used such a phrase like essential feedback on how long you speak. I really enjoyed how you managed to match the topic of the day, consciously, unconsciously, with your presentation. One little suggestion is that, well, I understand that it's not my duty probably to give feedback on the way you speak because you're presenting a speech, but I still would like to suggest you try to look to the audience, try not to look down, even though it's very difficult and I understand. So my suggestion would be for you, it's very simple technique. You choose 3 points in the audience, 1, 2, 3, and you try to look through this point. So you choose one person on the left who is quite friendly for you, and you're looking at this person. You choose somebody in the next line, hello, and somebody on the right, and like some kind of triangle. But in general, thank you very much for being so precise. Well, the last piece of feedback would be for our table topics. I will be very brief. Thank you very much for such an engaging table topics. And as far as I understood, you have just started your Toastmasters way, right? Or you have you already have some experience?
Yeah, I have some experience, but sure.
Okay, so probably my suggestion would be really try to be more, how do you say, more active in terms of asking people to take the stage, because it's absolutely normal here, because I think that especially newcomers, they're always afraid of taking the stage, so encourage them. And I would also suggest you to be a bit more loud, because sometimes I wasn't able to hear the questions. But I enjoy the way you conducted the table topics, and I wish you good luck in your Toastmasters way here in Russia. Overall, I really enjoyed the meeting. Thank you very much, Lera, for such an amazing topic. I don't have any feedback for you because you're quite an experienced Toastmaster, so sorry. But I noted, it was a special thing for me that you used this game from the Toastmaster Council meeting you said. And I really think it's some kind of tool that we can use and other people can see how much we grow being a part of our Toastmasters community. So thank you very much for that, and thank you again for being so positive. I think that this is one of the main qualities of any speaker, to be positive, even though outside is rainy and cold. Thank you very much for this meeting, and with that, I would like to welcome Mr. President on the stage.
Thank you very much, Christina, and thank you all for this wonderful meeting. I'm so happy to see you. I remember to see you here offline and online also. And I want to say four small things, and after we can be free and go to after party. So the first one is, and my lovely secretary will help me with this. First one, I want to congratulate our icebreaker for today. Come to the stage.
There. Thank you.
The second one, we have here's here. Cole. Cole, he finished his second level. Congratulations.
Hold on.
Thanks for you.
Thank you.
Great. Present for our table topic winner. I just want to check. And the winner of table topic is, who do you know? Michael, welcome to the stage.
Oh my God, a table topic thing again. Thank you very much.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Sure.
evaluating you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The second thing I want to say to all of you is few or maybe 3 meetings, we will have contests in our club. We will have 2 contests, table topics and humorous speech. So we will choose date and we will send a date for you. And please try to win this contest, because all winner will go to the next stage, to all our area and then division and then district. So try, because how we know this is our, the more you practice, the faster you grow. So try. And the next one I want to say, sign for the role for next meeting. It will be in 2 weeks on 1st September. And the last one. Yep.
Can you say, can you greet our guests? Also, send them to the
everyone. It's okay, but I have just one small thing to say. Sorry, guys. The last one thing I want to say, it's a very important thing for us because we have bananas and cookies, so don't forget to donate small your donation.
How can we do this?
How can we do this?
Yes.
We can put a small money for this box, or you can look at your agenda and find there a few numbers and send it by application, bank applications.
Can I just please say something? Just as a feedback to you all, okay?
Sure, come to the stage, please.
Toastmasters is very much focused on certain areas, one of which is our wonderful guy with the art counter, okay? And none of you are native English speakers, okay? So one of the things that you have to remember, whilst it's important to reduce the amount, you're translating in your head. Psychologically, it'll be terribly difficult for you to deliver a speech as quickly as I can in my own language, perfect English, without making any mistakes, and no buts, ums, etc. Because the moment our brain starts to move away from our speech, we start to think. In order to make our brain comfortable with our voice, we have to make sound, because we are supposed to be talking. So it's very, very important that you try to reduce, but it's also very important to bring your English level up, okay? And a few buts and ahs and ums are actually quite good. But make sure that you remember there is no way you're going to be perfect in reducing all of those ums, buts, pauses, etc. And even the ones where you go like that. What am I supposed to say next? Because you have written something in English, and now you're trying to deliver it in English. And trying to remember. Even some of our greatest people from Ireland, and I'm half Irish myself, okay? And every other country, even those people in France, in Germany, etc., we all make mistakes in our language. So please don't feel too hard if you did a lot of buts, ahs, ums. Okay, it's going to happen anyway. Until you become a fluent native English speaker. That's all I wanted to say. Just to be there with it.
So guys, thank you very much for this meeting. Let's go to have after party together and have a nice evening.
Thank you.